Hello and welcome back to our tutorial. Right now, this is pretty much right after we had created the world. You will see an option to say start playing. So you want to click that, push enter on it, and now you get to choose. Dwarf Fortress mode is the main mode. It will be the mode that I'm covering this tutorial. It's where you build your own little dwarf fortress. It's the main mode. Adventure mode, you basically run around as some asshole throwing rabbits through bronze colossi. I don't know, I just know what I read, so I think that's what the game's about. So if you guys are really into killing bronze colossi with bunnies and like puncturing necromancers' skulls with zombie teeth, then that's what it is. It's a throwing simulator from what I understand. So as long as you can throw shit, you pretty much win. And Legends mode. Legends mode is interesting. It's where you can actually go through all of your civilization's history and pretty much just delve into how your world was created and what was going on with it. A lot of the times you can see a lot of really cool lore. After you've read like 4 or 5 different worlds Legends mode, you've pretty much seen it all though. You know, creature inhabits area, creature kills shit, someone kills creature, creature's babies kill to someone. Shit happens all the time. So we're going to go to Dwarf Fortress. This will be edited out unless I'm lazy. Okay, so right now you can kind of see our time passing by. It went by really fast, but you can see like basically I think 2 weeks or 1 week passes on the calendar while you embark. So now we have our world. On this side, we see the local map, which as it says up here, this is the small area we can see. So if we want to move on the local, we have to use U, K, M, and H, and we kind of move around where we're selecting. Now if you look all the way over here, on the opposite side, you can see that this area is hot, has sparse trees, moderate vegetation, and the surroundings are wilderness. So basically, and you can also see what kind of resources it has here. Soil, shallow metal, deep metals. Note, metal, not plural, metals, plural. There's multiple deep metals, but only one type of shallow metal. So we're just going to dive right in. This is the region, so you can kind of see the whole area, and this is the world. This is slightly zoomed out. But since our world is so fucking small, world is literally the exact same size as region. Just, that's part it goes. Okay, so first of all, you guys are going to have to push F, or find location. Now you can almost find every single shortcut key around, but I'm going to try and remember to say them. So F, and now over here you can see the find desired location. So we're going to choose X and Y dimension of 3. If you have a very slow computer, I would say choose X and Y dimensions of 2. Never go to 1 unless you're planning on playing for 5 minutes and then realizing you've mined out the entire map in half a second. It's not that small, but you know what I mean. 4 is good if you have a big powerful computer, but this game doesn't look like it has a lot of power. My computer isn't amazing. It's like a NVIDIA GTX 260M and then like 8-core processor, but it runs like Skyrim on low settings. So it's not amazing, but you'd think it would run this game well, but after I get around 120 dwarves, my FPS starts to dock. Anyways, savagery. So you can kind of choose if you want low or high savagery in the area you're looking for. I usually leave that alone. Same thing with evil, lower, medium, or high evil. Elevation, like how high up you want it, if you want it to be up in the mountains or down in a Satan's asshole or whatever. Temperature, just kind of, temperature. I would suggest do not embark in a cold location. This is very important. Your water will freeze over. What happens when your water freezes over? Dwarves don't have water till you dig down into the caverns below. So, it pretty much fucks you over. Really bad. You have to go and find underground water. Rain? Rain's okay, you don't really have to worry about it. It doesn't really affect dwarves. Unless you're in an evil area, and in evil area, like, rain will turn into, like, acid rain and flesh-rotting rain and shit. Rain's bad in evil areas. Drainage? No fucking idea. Go check the wiki. Flexstone layer. We want this, so we're going to click that yes. I believe with Flexstone, you use it to make steel. I don't know for sure. I was told that a long time ago, so I always make sure there's Flexstone. Aquifers. No, you do not want a fucking aquifer. Now, in my other tutorial, I neglected to mention, but you should probably go to your starter pack settings and turn off aquifers and cave-ins. Get those the fuck off. You do not want that shit in your world if you're a new player. You will not know how to handle it. Your dwarves will drown. They'll get crushed. Your mom will find your fucking hentai collection and kick you out of the house, and then you have to fucking make money by making shitty YouTube videos and jerking off on RedTube. It's a sad, sad life, man. Sad life. I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm just the guy who plays Dwarf Fortress. I'd say go for a river. Rivers are nice. We're in a small world, so we don't have many options, so I'm just going to say no. Shallow metals, you want multiple. Same thing with deep metals, multiple. Soil, I'd say go for some soil. Some people go for deep. Some people don't give a fuck. But as a new player, you're not going to be able to do any advanced farming techniques. Now, normally, if you don't have any soil, you would flood water over some tiles, and that would leave mud in its wake. That mud will stay there permanently, and you can grow a farm on top of it. You can't grow a farm on rock. But since you guys are new, you guys probably don't want to have to go and read like a 30-minute tutorial on how to make an irrigation system. So we want some soil. Clay, we want clay. Clay's useful. You can make pots and shit. Dwarves don't like it too much, but it's a nice extra little craft you can do if you want to fuck around with it. Plus, it's extra chance for more soil, so fuck it. Now you want to push enter, and it'll start the search. Now I have a small world, so I don't even have to say that if I'm lazy, I'll cut it out. There we go. Okay, so all those green arrows, or X's, are our search parameters. All of those mean our search parameters. So we're going to push escape to browse results. Now you can see up here, the temperature is cold. It's usually cold near the caps of the world. So we don't want that. Fuck that area in general. Now, one important thing to note, always make sure you have trees. Heavily forested, that's a lot of fucking trees. That'll actually be a pain in the ass to navigate. None, that's really bad. Good luck getting a good, easy start without a ton of trees. Other vegetation, none as well, which means you can't gather plants. You can gather above ground plants, and they're pretty good. Surroundings is wilderness, which means chances are we'll get attacked by some sort of wild creatures at some point. So that's also a bad area. But let's just see over here. I will say these brown roads and shit, and like little statues, crowns, and treasure chests, those are actually civilizations. I would say don't embark on those areas, because civilizations can also be a pain in the ass. We're just going to go here. We've got deep soil, we've got shallow metals, deep metals, flux-stone layer, and clay. It's thick vegetation, calm surroundings, which means we're not going to be attacked by a bunch of shit. Usually, sometimes you will. You know, Armok, praise him, will decide he wants your blood early. And temperature warm, which is fine. We don't have to worry about temperature if it's warm. I've never had any results, or any problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to click E for embark. We're going to embark in this area. This is our embark zone. Now right here, you get faced with a lot of questions. Now if you're not using the starter pack, I would suggest just clicking play now. They'll start you with something good anyways. Prepare for the journey carefully is more for kind of people who know what they're doing, who've played this for a while. Some advice in case you want to fuck with that anyways, because you're stupid and fucking crazy and you're going to come bitch at me that I didn't teach you enough. Always start with at least one miner. Dear God, get two. Each miner needs a fucking pickaxe. Make sure you start off with some chickens, like one rooster and a few hens, because hen eggs are overpowered food. You will not need to worry about food if you have that. And then you can brew all of your plants and shit. I'll teach you how to do that. So I'm going to start off with Gorney's easy peasy start, because it's overpowered, and I'm going to use that to teach you guys how to play. So we're going to push enter. Now, right here is another thing that I didn't teach you guys that I'm going to, because it just finally came up. So embark preparations were not completed. These things that are listed here are things our civilization in this world do not have access to, but were listed inside of that starter pack we clicked. So basically it's saying we don't have eagle eggs, we don't have pig blood, wombat meat, pond turtles are not available, cave lobster, fish, and black sand. These are actually really common things to get cut out. These things usually don't show up. Now, I will say the reason why he's bringing one blood, one egg, one meat, one turtle, one lobster, one fish, one sand, so the one sand is so he can get an extra bag. And each bit of meat and blood he gets gives him one extra barrel, basically. It's like a little hack to get yourself some extra resources and empty barrels and shit. Then you just empty the barrels and you're good to go. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to explain this briefly because I don't want to fucking make like a 20 gigabyte video on my computer. So here you can kind of choose your dwarves. We're going to look at Kubuk Ruthalis. He's already been allocated because this is a pre-made pack. So he's a proficient miner. He's a novice discipline, novice suture, novice diagnostician. So most of these skills are pretty straightforward. One thing that was added in version 40 is discipline. Now, when it was first implemented, you'd draw your weapon, and the entire horde of goblins that was attacking you would run away screaming, pissing themselves, while throwing each other down to the ground in a desperate attempt to sacrifice that person they're throwing to you in order for them to be able to get away. While your soldier is afraid of his own fucking sword he pulls out, so he shits himself, runs back to the base. As you're closing the drawbridge, which sends him flying 1,000 feet, he splatters into gore, then all of your dwarves freak out, get sad, and kill each other. That's what discipline does. No, but basically, discipline will allow your dwarves to get into combat and not be afraid. They'll handle dead bodies and things like that. Basically, it makes them listen to you without freaking the fuck out. And it pretty much always has to do with danger. Like, they'll face danger more readily to do their job. Like, a highly disciplined dwarf will run into the middle of a fucking field just to start building a wall that's in the middle of a battlefield. Because he's highly disciplined. He doesn't care. That wall needs to get done, motherfucker. So, that's that. You push tab to look at your items. These are the items we're bringing along. a lot of shit. So if you want to add a new item, you have to push N for new, and you'll get a huge list of items. I'm not going to go through that. You guys can look through that on your own. You're big kids now, I'd assume. Over here, if you push the right arrow, you can go see all the pets you're bringing along. But like I said, bring fucking, look at this, 4 hens, 1 rooster. This place also brings a duckling and a duck. It brings basically a male and a female of every single bird race in the fucking game, so that's good. Also, one thing that's really important, which I'm about to get a fuck ton of, are, where is it at? We want some more beer, because we have extra points now, so why not? So we're going to push plus. You have to push shift and then plus on most computers, because that's how the keyboard works. So if you see a key that looks like it's capitalized, it probably is. You probably actually have to capitalize that shit for it to work. This game has a ton of keys, and they're not afraid to use capitalization. I'm going to bring, I don't want any more plump helmets. Plump helmet spawn. Plump helmet spawn is really important for this build. I'm going to teach you guys. So we're just going to push E for embark now, and this will start our journey. You can also name the group by pushing capital F. That'll name your fortress, and then G names your group of dwarves. Okay, so here there isn't really that much. I've heard like this saying here where it says where the blank get hungry, or before the blank get hungry. So that creature usually shows up in your area, I guess. I've never had it happen. One time I had like sea alligators or something, and they never showed up. So I don't know how much truth that is, but if like it says before the cougars get hungry, I'd say be on guard for cougars in the area. So keep all your young dwarves hidden. Fucking 45-year-old elves, man. Strike the earth. This is also like really important saying. Remember this. Everyone fucking says this everywhere. Every fucking Dwarf Fortress shirt says it. If anyone ever asks you if you play a lot of Dwarf Fortress and they won't believe you, just say strike the earth and they'll shit themselves and fucking cream all over their Doritos. They really love that saying, so just remember that shit. And this is the screen you guys are going to see in the next video because, yeah, have fun determining this shit. I'm also using a texture pack, so it looks a lot better. If you guys aren't using a texture pack, you're really fucked. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.